So we got a late start because it was actually pouring here. We're in St. Augustine. So we just had a heavy rain here, so that delayed our live start. Sorry about that. This place here is of particular interest. So most of you probably know St. Augustine is the oldest city in the United States. It was founded in 1565 by the Spanish. It did have its periods where both the British and the French tried to basically take over the city, and at some time it was occupied by the British. But I'll tell you later how that plays into things here. So here's the Tolomato Cemetery, and so you'll see another video on our channel about this, but this is a, let's stop here. This is a former, well, it was a Catholic cemetery because the Catholics and the Protestants were segregated, and this cemetery is rumored to be highly haunted. Up here you can see the gates that say Tolomato. And this particular tree up here is of relevance to the left because there's supposedly a little boy up there in the tree, a ghost boy, who people claim they see at times. So this is one very haunted cemetery within St. Augustine. Let me know in the comments if you've ever been to this particular cemetery. So I wanted to start us at the gates of the city, but like I said, we were in a complete downpour, and we're going to start in the side street here. We're going to go up to another cemetery now. This other cemetery is the Huguenot Cemetery. The Huguenots were Protestants, and they were French, and if you were Protestant at the time of the Spanish occupation here, you were buried outside of the city walls, and you're buried in Huguenot Cemetery. Also, to be haunted, we'll show you that. Particularly interesting story about the Huguenot Cemetery is that, well, the Spanish, as I said, had their own cemetery, but during the time of yellow fever, during the time of yellow fever, many people died within the city here, and at times people were buried alive. People thought they were dead, but they were actually alive. And so a particular device was used in this cemetery to allow people to alert others that they were not dead when they were buried. And let me know if you know what that device is, but it's the origin of a famous quote or saying, "Saved by the Bell." Let me know in the comments if you know what that device is, but here's the Huguenot Cemetery. So we'll be doing a video of all these locations. We're just giving you a quick walking tour. If you haven't been here, I encourage you to come. In our video, we can tell you particular stories about each location. So over here you'll see You'll see the old Spanish gates. This gate up here was the actual gate to the enclosed city of St. Augustine. Why was it enclosed? Well, it was enclosed to, again, create protection from invading armies from, again, the British and the French. So you'll see this is the original standing gates. And across the street, we can get a good view of that. We're not going to go over, but we're going to film across the street here because we are going to do a full video on, over here is the Castillo San Marco. So this was the fortress in St. Augustine. It was built between the mid 1600s to the late 1600s by the Spanish as a protection. So there's a particular ghost story associated with this fortress. And this is owned by or operated by the National Park Service. But there are many ghost stories, and again, we'll be doing a video about that. But one particular one is that the bones of lovers were found within an enclosed wall in that fortress, and they were supposedly chained to the walls. And why were they chained there? Well, if you know the story, let me know in the comments, but we can cover that later. But now this is a ghost story, and they were rumored to be buried alive within the walls. So let's go to, we're gonna walk to another street. We're going to go back past the Talamato Cemetery and down a street. So there's a particular area of the city that has several haunted locations. And this is, as you see, we're in a very busy, historic, and touristy area, but there's very quiet streets, and we're going to be going to those. And that's where there are several locations that are rumored to be haunted. Just so you know, one of the interesting backstories about St. Augustine is that the town was heavily influenced by Henry Flagler. He was part of the Standard Oil Group with other industrialists at the time. He came to St. Augustine. He was responsible for building the railroad down from the north down to Florida. And he made St. Augustine one of his locations for one of his hotels. Well, he built 2 hotels there. We're going to show you those. So those are both rumored to be haunted. One is currently a college. It was an old Ponce de Leon hotel. And the other is the Alcatraz Hotel, or Alcazar, not Alcatraz. And that also is rumored to be haunted. We'll be showing you those. Another location here, however, is he built a jail. It's the old jail. We won't walk there right now because it's quite a distance from where we are, but I will be doing a video about that location. That is one of the supposedly highly haunted locations in St. Augustine. So here we are again at the Talamato Cemetery. Streets are really wet here, but I suppose that adds to the spooky ambiance of the city.
Remember, this was a native burial ground, so there's
Joe's probably walking